Welcome to part 3 of our Pro 6000 setup videos here. Well, yesterday we finished up. We've got the shell plate installed, we've got the case ejector back, we've got the case retainer ring in, primer system sorted. We started with the case feeder. We took off the riser from the case feeder, but we still need to add the case feed cylinder. Now, if you look at this case feed cylinder, this is the universal case feed cylinder from Lee. This you can load almost any cases with it. There's a few limits, of course. If you look closely where the bolt is situated now, you can take the bolt from this side to that side also. You can swap them around. So this is more your smaller cases. If you want to load larger cases, 45 ACP, those types of things, you're going to use this side here. The bolt will go in there. So the bolt is just secured with a nut at the top, nut at the bottom. That nut there will set the height of the case feeder. I'll show you to do that now. But if you look at this side here where I've got it set up now for, that's the small side. Inside there you'll see a rim in the cylinder that will stop 45 ACP bigger cases from going through. This side here, there's this plug here that if you want to do bigger cases, you remove the bolt from this side, put it this side, you take this plug out. Now that side's too small for 45 ACP cases to go through. This side will allow it to go through, so it will feed from this side. So it's it's an easy thing to set up. It's ingenious. I think it's a simple way to get away from having a case feeder for every different caliber. I like these things. They've been around for a while now. They work. Now to install it on the press here, let's take the press all the way to the top. There is a place for it to go. So you set the height using a case. So you set it up, you get a case in there, like so. And you need to make sure just the case must clear the feeder. There must be a gap. In all the Lee instructions, they talk about a penny thickness. So I don't know how thick that is, but I've worked it out. There must just be a bit of a gap there. Not too small, not too big. Otherwise you're going to have feeding problems. Now all you have to do is secure the case feed cylinder onto the press. So just take the last bolt that comes with it to secure it, and that one all the way up, and then you just have to line it up out there so that it's over the feeder at the top of the stroke and in the middle like it. Now all that needs to happen is the case needs to clear that all the time. So let's do a dry run. Now be careful in the instructions, in case you guys forgot these things. It says if you do a dry run on the press, do not stroke the press all the way to the bottom, because this primer pin, there is a chance that it can get stuck in a primer pocket that doesn't have a primer in. If the primer pocket is out of spec or there's dirt in it, the pin can get stuck on it. So don't force the press all the way to the bottom when you are dry running cases. So let's see how this works. See there, I'm not going all the way to the bottom there because the primer pin is there, so we don't want to get anything stuck there. And then with the case in there now, you can see how this press cycles. Very smooth. Your case retainers, you can set them to keep the case in place properly. Just remember, if you are doing 9mm, the 9mm plate is designed to do a couple of different cartridges. The biggest difference there is 40 Smith & Wesson. So there's a bit of plate in the shell plate. So just set your case retainers right. Then let's install this. This is the one thing I've got one or two. I have to work things out here. I normally fill these things when I reload up very quickly. So I don't know. And the bracket that's on the press to hold it is made of plastic. So I don't know how much weight this can hold. But we'll give it a go. If it doesn't work, we'll work something out there. So we install that onto the bracket there. That's station 6. Case drops out. So that's basically the setup of the press. Another thing with the case, universal case feeder, is your pipes. I've got these 3D printed little arms on here just to secure it a bit more and keep them in shape. I'm thinking of getting a couple of them made. They really work nicely. And then obviously your case collator. Now remember, when you buy these presses, this is an optional extra, but it's worthwhile, especially for 9mm 40 pistol cases. It does load the cases much quicker. You do get it where sometimes, because it's universal, a 9mm case will load upside down. You can just, as it gets to the bottom, just swap it out. Or we get case collator inserts that's 3D printed that we can put in it. That helps that a lot. Well, I'll talk about that later. But for now, we're just going to put our pipes into the case feeder. So make sure that it's secured in there. And now there's your case feeder sorted out. So that's basically the setup of the press. But we have to set our dies next, and we have to function test the press. And the one thing I can't wait to do is prime on this press. So that will be my next few steps on this press. So I'll be setting up dies now, my auto drum, how to set that up, where am I going to set it up. We've got 6 stations to work with in this press. My plan is, station 1 is going to be my sizing and decapping die. Station 2 is going to be the auto drum with the pistol through expanding die. Station 3 is going to be a powder check die. I've got a feeling I'm taking a drive through to the gun shop later today to pick up a double alpha magnetic powder check die, because this spot is going to be reserved for the new bullet feeder from Lee, the inline bullet feeder. With that there, I want to be sure to check my powder drops. So the double alpha magnetic powder check is going to do that for me. So that's my plan with this press. So station 1 resize decap, station 2 powder, station 3 powder check die, station 4 inline bullet feeder, station 5 is going to be my bullet seating, station 6 is going to be my taper crimp die, or your factory crimp die if you want to do that. So a lot of guys have asked me why 6 stations. That's why 6 stations. If I want to add inline bullet feed die with a 5-station press, you can't add a powder check die and still crimp, so you have to sacrifice somewhere. With this, I don't have to. So I'll have a powder check die, inline bullet feeder, and I'll still crimp separately. 6 stations, that's what it's been made for. And I'm glad Lee is coming up with their own inline bullet feeder. It looks good. That includes a 223 bullet feeder for you 223 guys out there. The older style Lee bullet feeder also works on here, so you can also do that. But yeah, then I'm going to have that space open. I'm waiting for that inline bullet feeder. I think that's going to be a winner. So that's it for now. Next video, we'll start setting up dies and start running this press. Thanks.